All right, hey guys, welcome back to Bucktown Cooks. We have Mr. Armstrong is here today to make a festive recipe called, come on in, and it's called chocolate bark.
Yep.
We have some peppermint candy, so it's like a peppermint chocolate bark, is that right?
That's right, peppermint chocolate bark. Yep.
Before we go into the recipe, tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Armstrong. So how long have you been on faculty here at Owen J. Roberts Middle School?
Well, I've been a substitute teacher here for about 3 years now.
Okay, and what are you currently teaching?
And right now I'm teaching 8th grade ELA.
All right. Okay, you like that? ELA?
Yep. Oh yeah, ELA. That's
because you have something, you have a little bit of ELA in your background, yes? Do you want to tell us about your experience with that?
I did write a book a few years ago, a work of historical fiction, and that gave me a lot of practice with writing and editing and all that good stuff.
Nice. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about this recipe, chocolate bark. We're so glad you're here. I love a festive recipe.
Yep.
I love anything with butter, sugar, chocolate. It's like my favorite food groups.
Well, there are only a few ingredients here, and I'm putting in the butter. You need 1 cup of butter.
Okay.
And 1 cup of brown sugar. Oop. And while we're getting the rest of it set up, we can start to heat this up and boil it.
Okay.
We need to boil it for 3 minutes.
To put it on high typically, or is that too hot?
I do, but I tend to do everything on high because I'm impatient and I think that'll make it work faster. But you said it the best way to boil that
We'll put it on medium high so we don't burn it. I actually want to eat these things.
We'll put it on medium high. So I stir it every so often. I like to put the butter on the bottom and the brown sugar on top because it helps to keep it from sticking. So while that is getting up to temperature, we take some aluminum foil here and we cover our baking pan.
Okay. Is this just to make cleanup easier, or does it serve another purpose?
It does serve another purpose. We'll see when we come back after it's ready to be processed into little chunks. So we get the...
Wrap it around the edges, is that all right?
Yep, around the edges will work.
Okay.
And then we take saltine crackers.
Sweet and salty, best combination.
We take saltine crackers and we line them up. So I'll set this here.
Okay. Can I work from this end, or is that going to mess you up?
You work on that side. Yep.
So while we're doing this, is this like an old family recipe, or is this
it has been in the family for quite a while, but it doesn't go back that far, maybe 20 or 30 years or so.
But you tend to make this?
This I make is a seasonal kind of thing because it's so good that if I made it year-round, I would weigh 300 pounds. So
okay, well, we don't want that. Would not be good for your running. We don't want that.
It would not be good.
So you're also, besides ELA teacher and a published author, do you also do something with sports teams here?
Yeah, I'm an assistant coach on the cross country team at the middle school.
Girls, boys team?
Yep, girls and boys. Yep, we all train together, and then boys and girls have separate races in the meets, but in general, we do everything together. So.
How was your season? Or was it COVIDed out?
No, there was a season. We had 5 meets, and the girls and boys were both successful. Yeah, sometimes.
Do you want me to open another package, or you want to be one cracker?
Sometimes that happens. There are supposed to be 40 in a pack, but what I have found is that sometimes you'll be a little over or under. So at home, I keep a little partial pack that I
might have overpacked them too. I'm sorry, so how was your season?
Yeah, the season, the boys and girls both had successful seasons.
Nice.
So hopefully the kids are inspired to continue on with their cross-country careers.
What do they run, like 3 miles for that, or 2.75?
It's a 3K, so, just about 2 miles.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
Ms. Alfenberg will be out doing that this afternoon, I'm sure.
Probably.
In her turkey suit.
Out there.
Get that turkey suit on, get running.
So what we've done is we've prepared the crackers now to get this melded concoction of brown sugar and butter, and once that has come to a boil, we boil it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to pour it over the crackers.
When do these chocolate chips come in? Because
chocolate chips come in.
Over
the chocolate chips come in at the end.
Okay.
So
The very, very end.
close to the end.
Okay.
Yep. So to keep the chocolate chips on hand, you need 12 ounces, which is half of this bag. This is a 24-ounce bag. So we'll use half this bag, and we will do that when the crackers come back out of the oven.
Okay. I hear it's starting to bubble a little bit.
Yeah.
So while it's starting to gurgle, Mr. Armstrong, I asked all of my, I almost called you a contestant. I asked all of my
I feel like I'm winning.
celebrity chefs, all of my colleague celebrity chefs, a couple of questions. So that the students can get to know us, especially the ones that are virtual, right? They don't get to see us.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is one food you can't live without?
Well, there are a number of foods that I like, but you know, the first thing that comes to mind is chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, but although I rarely eat them, but you know what? They're always good. So.
Do you make them, or do you buy a certain kind?
This is pretty much the only thing I make is this bark.
Should I be timing this because it's boiling?
Yeah, once it's boiled, I don't time it precisely, but once it starts to bubble a bit and it's well mixed in, then we can pour it over.
Okay.
So it's getting close, but you're doing the right thing by keeping it moving so that
we don't want it to burn.
Doesn't burn on the bottom.
So what's your favorite kind of chocolate chip cookie then? Like Chips Ahoy or?
No, something homemade.
Homemade.
Something homemade. Yeah.
All right.
Not a store-bought brand. Something homemade.
Okay. How about a favorite memory surrounding food?
Favorite memory surrounding food. You know, I remember my grandfather used to grill steaks. And boy, that was so good.
Yeah?
Amazingly good, yes. So that's probably one of my favorite food-specific memories.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now, do you grill steaks like your grandfather did?
Nope, not at all.
That's hard to get right.
Yeah, and he...
You have to use a thermometer
well,
when you grill meat.
Unless you're my grandfather. He
Yeah,
just threw them on there and pulled them off when he felt they were ready.
Look at that. He just knew.
Yeah. So that looks like it's pretty good.
Okay.
There.
So you want to pour it over. So taking this and this is not hot, right? Okay.
So
don't mind me.
What we do here is we just
oh, it's too hot, I guess.
try to evenly.
Do I spread with this? Or do you just,
no, you don't need to. You just try to get this as you know, evenly spread out as possible. But as you'll see, it's not super critical. Now I take the spoon then and try to get every last morsel out.
Okay. It's a good thing I didn't lick the spoon. I almost did. I was tempted.
Yep, that's okay. No, you'll wanna wait later and lick the spoon later. I'll tell you when.
Okay.
So we are working on getting up to temperature. So once we get to 400, we can put the crackers in.
And then how long do they bake for?
And then they're in for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So what happens during that 5 minutes, of course, is this tends to spread out. You know, it sort of evens itself out.
Gotcha.
And when it comes out of the oven, then you'll notice that the crackers have kind of floated out of position.
Okay.
So that's when you take your spoon that you've not licked and push the crackers back into place. So anyway, we'll get to that. We'll demonstrate that part. But so once it gets up to temperature, we can put it in there and start the 5 minutes.
All right.
Now, if you're super efficient at making bark, and I like to make bark in batches.
Yeah.
So that, and then I give it out to people, you know, at school for thank you to teachers and secretaries and whatnot.
Feel free to put my name on that list.
Yeah, I'll add you to the list. So what I would do at this point is I would start to make a second batch because I've already got the hot dirty
things.
I mean, I'm gonna have to clean it. So I would start my second batch and get that warmed up, and the oven will already be warm.
I like that.
Yep.
Thinking smart.
And then of course maybe the hardest part is clearing refrigerator space.
Right.
Because this does have to go in the refrigerator.
How long do you refrigerate it for?
The longer the better, but I found that about 2 hours is hard enough for you to break it apart, and we'll see that part.
Awesome.
We'll have to take a break and come back.
So what is the new, can you talk us through the nutritional value of all of these elements?
There's zero nutritional value. But it's Christmas time.
Okay,
so
just making sure.
however calories work during Christmas, that's right here.
So Can we put this in the oven?
Yeah.
And it's gonna go in for
5 minutes.
We'll slide this in the oven.
Yeah.
Set the timer for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think, should we pause it?
Yep.